About 6 years ago, I was in graduate school and I was finishing up. I had about a month left and I was excited. I felt like I had a lot of momentum in my life going. My plans were to get a good job after graduating and actually go back to school to pursue a doctorate. I really like teaching, and so I thought this, feels like the perfect time to just be doing all these things that I wanted to do in life. So the day that I got my graduation invitations, I went to my parents' house. I got home. My dad had been sick but getting better. But when I arrived, I was told that he had 2 weeks left to live. And 3 days later, he passed away. So in that moment for me, my life just seemed to stop. Everything just went silent and still for me. And I didn't really know what the next steps were going to be in my life. And so what I chose to do was move back home with my mom. I didn't really have any plans. So then fast forward about 2 or 3 years beyond that, I felt like the Lord prompted me to move out. And it was as simple as hearing him say, I am your mother's provider and I am your provider. And I felt like, oh, okay, that was real. I needed to hear that. And after getting that prompt, he just kept downloading things into my spirit. So I didn't know who, I didn't know how, but he just kept giving me each step ahead of me, very detailed. And so he gave me two names in particular. I didn't know one of them that well, but I saw both of them after class. They were teaching one day. I went up to them and I said, hey, it was a great class. I think the Lord wants me to live with both of you. So think about that and let me know what you think. And they prayed about it, got back to me, and they said yes. And so I was thinking like, oh my gosh, this is really gonna happen. I don't even know where we're gonna live. I don't even know how this is gonna happen. But we knew that it would happen. And so the Lord just moved mountains. Every single thing that we worried about or thought about or hadn't thought about, he planned out. All we needed to do was take a step. And so 3 of us turned into 5 of us, turned into 6 of us now. We live in a house of 6 women. And the Lord was very specific about, I felt, what he wanted that to look like: a house of prayer, worship, a house for women to come to as like a safe haven. And that's what we've been to each other and to other women. And it doesn't always look super structured. It isn't always easy. We are 6 adult women living together and we have our moments. But what I love is that the Lord took me out of a family that I was very comfortable being with. That was my safe space. And he placed me in another family. And so I love these women like they are family. We do community together. We hold each other accountable. We're very real with one another. And I feel like it's just been a sweet ending to my obedience story, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. The Lord called me to something. I was very afraid about doing that, but the fruit that has come from it has been so much sweeter than what I could have planned on my own. And I think about my life, and I think we all think about that in the house. We're between 20 and 30-ish. And at this point in our lives, it'd be very easy for us to live on our own or go out and try to, buy a house or be Miss Independent or whatever that story is that we're told we should be living. But we've chosen to live together in community. And that has been an amazing part of my journey. My mom and I think, are closer. And I just feel like my faith has grown so much as a result of being with women who believe in the way that I believe and who add so much variety and difference to my life. And I love how he created. We could not have come up with it. Our house is very diverse, which I love also. And so I just think that the Lord, just the way he writes stories and in the way that he shows up when we're just willing to listen, can be so fruitful if we're willing to just take those first few steps. And so I'm happy that he was patient with me to follow his lead in that.